Oops. All right. See if we can go not walk face first into a coyote or something. You're not a woodpecker, you're a blue jay. Hmm. This place is gonna need a year to green up. We'll turn that over for some isopods, but now's not the time. And that's why God invented tomorrow. Deer were hauling through here. Quite a few of them. Hello, I'm just getting to the wood hunting. There's a lot of mosquitoes out. A lot more than I had anticipated because last night it was freezing. We got a frost warning. So with that, you will see me doing some weird like shakedowns on the mosquitoes. I promise I'm not like a crackhead jonesing over here. Look at this piece. I'm going to read those comments in 1 second, by the way. I'm just trying to fix some of these up. Woo-wee. I'm a little more anxious with the coyote on this side of the creek, or at least moving freely back and forth. I'm not generally scared of any coyote. It's more the fact that if it gets rabies or something. Alrighty, I got some comments to attend to. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to start shipping out wood eventually. Yeah, I'm going to have to bust most of these up. And that's what I'm trying to do now, is be more mindful of the size of them. And as I'm kind of... Sorry, I can get distracted very easily. As I'm getting used to the size of the actual USPS boxes, I'm kind of starting to just adjust the way I come out and gather wood in that regard. In fact, let me get a few more pieces. Or at least I want to stand these up. Another one. It's amazing how green this place got in just the last week. Not bad. Not bad. Look at that. Gorgeous. Mosquitoes are flying around my phone. So YouTube is telling me that there's 2 of you out there. So whoever else is lurking out there, if I missed you, hello, hope you're doing well. So the interesting dynamic about out here smacking across wood and talking openly is that if there is a coyote or a predator out here, I'm either scaring it away or saying like, hey, come investigate all this noise and stuff. Hopefully it's the latter. want to show you something really cool. I saw this with Simon last time. I hope I can get it to show up well. I'm gonna get him out of there, and then I'll crack some wood all up in the mic, see how that sounds for this one. Alright guy, you do not want to be on this wood because you're gonna get baked in a little bit. There we go. That was a subpar crack. Jeez, man. Oh. Again, it's not the biggest deal, but I just was literally going to put my hand right there. Literally was just going to grab this guy. For a little bit of context, sorry. Man, I have mosquitoes. I'm sorry. Literally flying into my ears and stuff. Yeah, that's you. You're looking at yourself, buddy. Did you see her take that pose? All right, guy, I want you to get out of here. Because, again, I don't want to have you in this wood in a little bit. I hope that view showed up good. I'm going to give myself a quick mosquito shake off because, man, they are all in my face, my ears. Sorry, I missed, again, all those comments. Whew. make sure that before I grab anything, not a big old spider waiting for me. Good there. Looking good there. For now. I don't think there's any deer that don't know I'm out here. Well, we're gonna leave this one because I got a full bucket. So that's going to be for another day. So we're gonna go make our way out of mosquito heaven. So let me reset this. I'm sorry, it's not the best of views. In fact, let me see if I can at least, there we go. This is my favorite time of the evening. I can't spend much time showing you because this bucket of wood's heavy, but oh, see that spot up ahead? You can see the nice orange. I'll try to be still for a moment. That twilight orange. In fact, I'm going to put this down. You'll like this. Oh, whew. I think you'll like this a lot. Oh. No, there's no, well, do you know any of the story about the beaver dam and all that? I don't like to be redundant, but there were beavers here a few years ago, and it's an interesting story. I know I've told it to, I think, Simon and Ninja, but let me get out of this part first, and if you want to, we'll do that. Give me a moment or two. Jeez, there are so many freaking mosquitoes. All right, bear with me, I'm sorry. Try and give you a view at least on the way out. Rhode Island, what's going on? I'm making my way out. The mosquitoes are swarming. I got my bucket. I'm gonna hang out for a bit. I just want to get out of here because, as I said, there's a ton and a half of mosquitoes. Whew! Look at these thorns if they can come out. Wicked thorns. This is awesome. I'm gonna dust myself off real quick because there are mosquitoes. Ugh. So, did you know the story about, I think you may have also heard this story about the beavers, Rhode Island, had you not? Man, that view is killer. Alright, well, I'll tell it anyway. You're stuck hearing it. But, and I apologize. Maybe I'll take a run back there, like literally run and get in and out. But, if I would have continued walking 20 yards ahead, there's actually the remnants of a beaver dam. You know what? Let's do that now because it's nice. Oh, 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 oh. Can you see the ducklings? I can't see very well. My screen is low and it's now with the sun here. It's very bright. The little ones. But let's go take a walk really quick. And this is, I'm going to apologize, but it should be quicker because I don't have that bucket. So this is, I'm going to tell the story when I get back. But I'm going to go literally just run in there, show you, then run back out, and then collect myself and I'll tell you. So let's go. That's what I got, by the way, Rhode Island, before I take off. I generally don't, I don't say run, but I'm gonna walk fast. I don't run through here. I'm an old adult who will roll an ankle or dislocate a knee or hurt my back. Ouch, that was one of those thorns. If you guys do yourselves both a favor and like rewind to the end of the video, I'm sorry, to the beginning of the video or live stream, and watch how short it takes me to get out to where I'm at least in terms of to where I start setting up my gear. But because I'm not going to do anything for a minute or do it later. My point is you don't have to do it now, but just for a little bit of context, because I am incredibly lucky in that regard. And I saw another comment, but I'm going to kind of wait till I get there. No, I'll do that a different time. Because again, I'm not trying to become mosquito bait. That's the heron. I hope you could hear him before. They have such a dinosaur-like sound. All right, we're just about there. So I didn't even run. I've been walking this whole time. But Rhode Island, I think you'll remember kind of this if we've talked about it. Oh, hey, ducks, my bad. Mallards, I apologize. Rhode Island would correct me. But that aside, whew, all that stuff there, and now I'm kind of really weird because this is where yesterday the coyote was crossing. But I hope you guys can see that there, because commit that to memory, because I'm going to take a moment and walk out of here, but kind of just see all that wood pile. You'll see that some of it is human junk, cut wood, a mix of just stuff. What you're looking at is what used to be a beaver dam right across here, that when it started to flood over all the area across there, they called in a construction company and had them come in with a backhoe and basically remove it from here, pick it all up, and drop it over there. But there's more to the story that sucks for me. Not that I want to make it about that. It sucks in and of itself. And to this day, I don't know if they like removed the beavers, killed them, trapped them, what. I don't know who did it, and I'll explain why. But I want to get out of here because, like I say, I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes. I don't like it when they're flying in my ears. If you guys are bored, you can just go to my videos and click, beaver or dam. And I have a couple where it was just scenes or where I just was checking out the dam, things like that. I miss it. See if I can get that orange twilight a little bit without walking into stuff. I got some comments to read. I apologize, but as I said, I'm trying to kind of hightail it out of. Ouch, that was, see, almost rolled my ankle right there. Whee. Plus, you guys will get this nice view. But I just love something about this. And I believe, Rhode Island, it's you and I that talk about that kind of wavy, water-like reflection especially when the water is really low and it has that kind of rippled effect. I love that. Get you guys some more of this sun. All right, let me give myself a little pat down again. Tomorrow I'm going to try, you may see the barn swallows right now kind of flying around the water, especially as there's bugs out. Around this time tomorrow I'm going to try to put the GoPro out on the water and see if I can get them flying by the GoPro. Whew. All right. I hope you're all, well, if you care, are still here, but I'm going to, yeah, I'll go through the story because if I read the comments I'll get sidetracked and then I'll go through that. But it was, let me do a minute of thinking. What I'm watching, is that a dove over there? Sorry, so it was January 2021. I was hospitalized because I had an infection, and I was in the VA hospital for about a week. And at that point, I had been coming out to the dam a lot because similar to how this, I'm sure you can hear at least a little bit, that white noise, that ambient water. The dam had it a lot, it was a lot more pronounced. So I'd go out there a lot and I'd record or think or whatever. And that was during COVID's fanatic moments, so everyone was trying to stay in, no one wanted to go out, everyone was locked down inside, and I was making excuses to make sure I got out. And when I got that infection, I got hospitalized, and when I got out, I had a big episode, doesn't matter, but so the day I got released, I had a big episode and didn't do much, but the next day, probably sooner than I should have, I went outside again, that was winter in January, and went to go check out the beaver dam, and they had done what you've seen, they tore it out. So like I came home to trying to go relax out there, thinking I'd have a moment, and then it was gone. So that was kind of a big bummer. And I've only seen muskrats since then. I don't think I've seen a beaver since. See, this is where I wish I had someone to go on walks or hang out, or even like you guys talk about catching stuff. I'm not familiar with catching, or you guys call it herping or whatever. I guess, I think that's what it is. I don't even really know. But it's a killdeer in the water up ahead, to the right of the screen. And there's actually another one across the way, but the glare probably makes it unable to be seen. Look at their, I wonder if, can you see their butt bouncing? They remind me of sandpipers like that. Trying not to move much. Let's see. See, I thought herping was reptiles. Then I heard it's reptiles and amphibians. And then I heard kind of now it's just more the colloquial term for going out and finding things that you can start to find the, your morphs or, breed and all that. Again, that's just my ignorance. That's homie. I would, like, there's that bug, yeah, that moth flew right into the camera. This is, I don't know how to say this, because this sounds like pity, but it's not, because, again, my life is amazing and full. But if I had one person who would come out with me, whether it was to teach me things, like that they knew, like photography or, animal stuff, or learn stuff with me, or like hold the camera when I'm pointing out things that I can't always do, I swear, like, this channel would be a different level of that. I wish. I don't like, and I think a lot of people say like, oh, my kids, but I don't want to force my kids into that. More so because it's YouTube and social media, so I don't particularly care to introduce them to it all too much. But man, like, that would just be the best thing. Like identifying trees and leaves and animals, bird calls. But I mean, this is like, again, I want to be like, I'm not dumb. Well, I'm very dumb, but I'm not that dumb, like I say, in that it's not. For me, I'm an old Marine and I carry my pistol and I can defend myself. But basically, hey, person I just kind of met, you want to come walk out into the forest with me while I have this bucket? And in my backpack, I even have a little shovel. It's like it. I get why people hesitate. But I mean, I've done a pretty good job of hiding all my streams and videos where I take people out and murder them. I don't think I've left any up. But let me know if there are, because I want to make sure I hide them. I don't have anybody to think like, I don't know, not my stick again. The only people I talk to more or less are people in the hobby, which would be like Discord or video, but even then, for the most part, I need to be mindful because I am overbearing, I talk too much, I ask too many questions or say too much. And that killdeer's kind of back to the right. Yeah, I talk a lot about, again, it's very convoluted because I talk about the fact that the only thing I'm lacking is money. And it's not like money is important or my life hinges on it, because the reason I want money, like literally, is just to be able to give you guys more. Like, I'm fine every day here walking out in my creek and it's free. I don't spend gas money. But I do want to go like to specifically around here, Belle Isle, other park areas like that. I want to go visit Wally in Wisconsin. I would love to go drive out to Utah and see Russ. Or I don't want to fly. I don't like flying. But my point is all that stuff costs money. I'd like to go back to the Reptarium for 2 hours without the kids once and just do a tour like how I would. And then bring the kids back there one day because they loved it. But again, that all costs money. And, you know, that's where I'm in that dilemma where if I'm trying to do things for my kids, it's different, but where I'm trying to do them for you guys, that stuff starts to all cost money. I want to get more cameras. I'd love to get a trail cam and put out here because we'd see coyotes, we'd see fawns and deer, raccoons, coyotes, minks, obviously, that I didn't know I would have seen before, birds nesting, things like that. And the bottom line is I just can't afford it. But again, like I'm at this place where my life is perfect, absolutely perfect where it is. I'm in my niche. I have what I need. My girls are amazing. I'm not overwhelmed where I'm not taking care of them. I have my free time like now where I can enjoy it to myself. So I want to get balance and all that. But like I say, that's the interesting aspect when I talk about money and why I hate it. Because I don't need it. I don't want it. But a lot of that stuff ties to the fact that there's a lot more I want to do. And you know what's funny? Elizabeth, that's another thing. The more I walk, like a few weeks ago, my pants got a hole in them. And, I'm honest, I'm poor. I have 2 pairs of pants. And because I do a lot of walking, the pairs of pants that I buy are heavier canvas. So they're a little more expensive, which is why I only have 2 pairs. But they've lasted me like 6 years and 7 years respectively. The more I walk, the more I do that, the more I go out of my waders, I know things are like eventually my waders are going to rip or something like that. I want to get another device to stream with that I could just leave out while I go. I can't leave my phone out here, but I'd like to just have a device I could put out there and stream and enjoy that. I don't know. Those are all pie in the sky things, but I hate feeling like I'm begging for money at the same time. I don't like feeling like a beggar. But at the same time, how do I say this? In my old life, I used to have a lot more money to the point where if people needed money, I could give it to them and help them. So I understand with some people, that's the way they like to help people. It's their way. So it is what it is. I just hate talking about money like that. And it's funny, I can sew, but it's been so long that I don't remember how to tie it off basically. And then what's funny is I'm left-handed, so it's hard for people to teach me. And I don't sew often enough to do it. So like I know the entire process of sewing, whether it's via machine or by hand. I just don't remember the tie-offs. But what I ended up doing was going to Hobby Lobby and getting iron-on patches to see if these would work. And I don't know if I would have been able to sew that anyway, because I don't know how to explain this. So I hope this makes sense. But I was sitting down and had my I had my elbow resting on my knee, and I had my chin on my hand like that, the thinking man statue, but like heavily leaning on my knee. And when I went to sit up, where my elbow was pinching my knee, it ripped on both sides around it. So there was this little thin strip, probably about 1/4 of an inch, between 2 big rips that I don't think I would have been able to sew, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm ambidextrous, and I'm a mess because I'm right hand dominant, but left eye dominant. And the way I break it down is anything I do single-handed, like eating, writing, things like that, I tend to do left-handed. And things I do collectively, like baseball, throwing, hockey, I tend to do right-handed. But then a lot of things I can do both, like I can shoot a bow and arrow both, shoot a pistol both. But again, it's difficult for me to aim with my right eye. I can catch and throw with both hands and all that. I can write with both hands. I'm going to go in a little bit. I'm going to guess about, well, let's see, in about 8 minutes it'll be an hour. We'll cut it. I think I said I was going to shoot for an hour, so let's do that. Now, if you want to get better with it, just practice. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't. I say do it. In fact, I think Wally has a stream at 8 o'clock, which, if I'm not mistaken, probably already started. I'm going to try and catch that when I get back in. I don't know if I could sew with my left hand. I don't believe... Is that the mink or is that a duckling? Oh, it's a duckling. I think. Well, one quick question, Rhode Island. If a mallard is not a duck and a duckling is for ducks, what is a baby mallard? A mallardling? Yeah, Wally, he runs a channel, Supreme Gecko and Isopods, and does a... He's just a wonderful person in the hobby. So they're okay. So they're still considered ducklings. Okay. Take it easy, Rhode Island. Whenever you go, in case I miss, in case you leave, kind of as I'm prattling on about nothing. And thanks for hanging out again. Go easy. I'm gonna have to start busting out the mosquito spray. What's funny is mosquitoes generally don't like me, but out here specifically, they're just awful, like the worst. I mean, swarms and swarms of them. I've never seen it this bad, and it's only been actually the last two. It's basically coincided with COVID. I don't know if it's because no one is out anymore, so they're rabid, or what, but the ducklings are trying to come by. Oh, there we go. I kind of sort of held a, I guess it would be more of like a fledgling robin. A couple years ago on my channel, in fact, I documented them on my channel. But sorry, the sky just distracted me. I gotta show that. My Anyway, when it was on my neighbor's porch, and they ended up flying off. Or, I'm sorry, one fell out, and I tried to put it back in the nest. So, look at that. That's right, you mentioned that. I don't remember which place. I'm very awful at connecting like the person in this place to where I know them elsewhere. I'm the worst at that. Like, unless your name is like mine, literally the same thing kind of everywhere. I'm very obtuse and dense when it comes to remembering that. Yeah, yeah, okay. And I'm kind of slowly going through my hard drive trying to make room. And as I do, I'm kind of finding stuff that is neat to watch, but I can do a lot better now. So I'm kind of posting that stuff and deleting it. It's a bag, unfortunately. It's at a position I can't reach, like with anything, and it bothers me. I don't know if it's bothering you. It bothers me for two reasons. Visually, as a Marine, like, that movement keeps attracting me, but then the fact that it's just a piece of garbage. I think I think a little bit about how much I hate the garbage out here, and how it's basically right now just like waving in my face, like, haha, yeah, I'm garbage and you can't do anything about it, and I can't. And then that tree is not even it's not even thick enough where I'd be able to climb to get to reach for it. It's it, it's like the perfect storm of being placed where I can't grab it. And it's in all of these shots. Like, if you ever watch, I hate it. It's in all of these shots. I'm supposed to wrap up, but I kind of just enjoying hanging out. I don't know, like, one thing I'm not is adventurous or thrill seeking. Like, you guys talk about like venomous snakes and all that, and that is not my thing. Not remotely. Like, if I was in a place where there was anything poisonous, I'd be over here flipping, and I don't know if I'm that person who just rolls natural ones. And like, if there was a snake out here that could kill me, I'll chance upon it. I don't like I don't ever like rolling the dice with that stuff. And if there is something that can kill me, I want to be able to competently shoot it if I have to. And you know, snakes and spiders are a little bit trickier, and crocodiles. You know, like I wouldn't be able to just hang out here. I'd have to be so much more mindful if there were crocodiles here. I'm so happy there's not. Or alligators. I'm going to sit there and take a moment. I'm going to think about what I'm going to snack on when I get in, and then I'm going to take off. That will be my thing. And if you don't, or if you're not, do you not know who Wally with Supreme Gecko, Supreme Isopods is? Because if not, do yourself a favor and go check out his live stream, because he's awesome. He's personable. Now his live stream today may not be something that you may enjoy. It's about basically the more expert side of lizard or reptile breeding, which is something you may like. It's not isopods, is my point. I don't know your proclivity for other stuff like that. So, but I mean, but he does do a lot of isopod stuff, and he's just a very passionate and nice, wholesome person, and that's the biggest thing. He's just a really great guy. Got a great family business. And if you don't know him, like I say, you're welcome, because there's so much there. In fact, I just sent him 2 boxes of wood today, my experimental boxes, because I don't know how much people would pay for what I'm sending him. So before I try to start selling it to people, I just want to get his assessment on what would be like a, I guess, market value for that. Sadly, Rhode Island's not here, but I talked with him a lot about, I love that when the day is calm like this, the symmetry between the still water and the sky. Like the tree. The sun would be a little nicer if it was a little higher, but I can't get it well from this angle, but the tree's the best example of that. That stinks. I just going to again talking about how amazingly lucky I am. Even if I like, have you ever seen ducklings like kind of run on water, like when they're in a hurry to get back to mom or dad? It's the funniest thing. It reminds me of isopods when they roll over. It's like that moment of sheer. They look panicking, but I'm sure they're just doing their thing. But they, from the outside looking in, they look like sheer panic. But there is so much to do around this Sterling Heights area, and I can't. I want for example, the apartment here is not great. Nothing is wrong with it, but my kids are getting bigger. I'd like to look for a bigger place, but I would lose this. And that's a massive dilemma for me. And I need to figure that out, basically. My daughters are getting bigger. They need more room and all that. But I don't, this is just phenomenal. But I think I'm going to wrap up. I suggest going to check out Wally's stream, at least to get a feel for it. And the comments is usually pretty lively, especially if I'm there, because as you know, I talk entirely too much. But I'm going to kind of wrap it up in a minute. So, got anything to say? Get it out now. You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of my stream. I thank you, because as always, you don't have to be here. You could be anywhere else in the world right now, but for some strange reason, you gluttons for punishment hang out with me. So thank you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones you love. And hopefully I will see you in that stream, and if not, I'm sure I will catch you in Discord. So take care.